Everybody, welcome to another fantastic episode of Diz Debate. We're so happy to be here. We're happy to have all these new faces with us. This is our little corner of the internet. This is our little channel that's made by Disney fans for Disney fans. It's just a platform where we talk about things that are happening in the Disney parks or things that we just have opinions about. So we just like to have people on and chat about them. We've got some new faces this week, and we'd love to get to know them, but we're going to go around and get to know everybody. So we've got Dean. How are you doing today? It's good to see you, as always.
Yeah, not too bad. I passed out getting out of the hot tub last night, so it's not men hitting me. It's just like literal clumsiness. But other than that, I'm all good.
Excellent. Well, it's good to have you. Olivia, how are you today? It's been a couple of times since we've seen you. I'm glad you're back.
I'm good. I've had a very surreal day. But yeah, all calm now. Ready to talk all about Disney dining.
Fantastic. Well, as always, you look great. We're happy to have you. Nick, how are you today? Good to have you back as well.
Yes, I'm back. Very good, buddy. Very good. Looking forward to this.
Excellent. Fantastic. Well, we're good to have you. You always bring great opinions and great humor, so we're glad you're here.
Don't cancel me.
Rob and Matt, you're new in town, I think. I may have just forgotten you, but how are you guys today? We're glad to have you.
Yeah, really good. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for having us. Really looking forward to getting stuck into this. So, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. Man, we're glad to have you guys. And Zoe, last but not least, how are you doing? It's good to have you as well with us.
I'm good. Very happy to be here. Very excited. And good to meet some new faces as well.
Fantastic. Well, I am excited about today's topic. We're going to talk about the Disney dining plan today. And we just kind of wanted to start out with just like what the dining plan is for people who don't know a lot about it and sort of how it works. I'm one of the people that doesn't know a lot about it. I kind of had to research it today. So could someone just explain it for us?
Paris point of view. But at Disneyland Paris, you can go either merely breakfast, you can go half board, or you can go full board. And depending on where you stay, depends on how much food you're allowed access to, so to speak. Basically.
Yeah, it's a little bit different with the one in Walt Disney World. It's kind of like, depending on which plan you go for, it's whether you get like a quick service included a day, or you get table service, a quick service and a table service. So it differs in that regard from the Disneyland Paris one.
Yeah, so we've never done it at Disneyland Paris, but we have done it in Orlando. And yeah, we have only done it in Orlando once, which was on our last trip. And we actually upgraded to the full dining plan because financially it actually made more sense to do that.
I did the same recently.
Considering how much food that is, though, like how on at Walt Disney World, like what is it that you're getting for the price and the price?
So for me, when I did it as a plan, I did it as a package kind of thing. So it was when the free dining thing was on. So it would have been just two quick service meals, a snack credit each, and you've got your resort refillable mug. And that was included in the plan. But for 800 more, I could upgrade it to the full plan, which meant I got table service included as well. So it was one quick service, one table service, a snack, and my resort refillable mug. So I opted for that, and I've actually got it how I worked out why that would be best for us. And what I did was I kind of like listed which ones we'd want to go to for table service and like how much that would have cost us to go to those. And it was a hell of a lot of money, and it came to like 1,200 plus for doing those ones. So already then that's a big chunk of saving. And what I did was I even did like a trying to be ruthless list. So if I just dined at like, say, 4 of these table service ones that I really, really wanted to go to, again, that would be coming up to 500 just for 4 meals. So you've got to really put it in perspective when you're doing your research for doing these things. If you are staying on site and doing a dining plan, it is, I'd say, worth it for me, because I was able to go to so many table services that I wouldn't have ever gone to before. and yeah, experience that without, you've got your menu there and you're looking at the prices and you're going, I would never ever have gone to this restaurant if I hadn't have got the dining plan, because you've got it there and it's like so expensive. But what is really good with it is you're not looking at how much something is. You can order what you want off the menu. They tell you obviously it's from this section kind of thing, or you get like starter, main, dessert included, but you're not. You're on your holiday. You don't want to be having a look going, oh God, I'm having a $50 main course here. You don't have to worry about that with the dining plan. But yeah, it works out so much better for us, and it's a no-brainer for me going forward now for especially Walt Disney World. I've never done the full one in Disneyland Paris. I've only ever done breakfast only. Recently, as with staying on site, it's not included anymore. So I've only ever done that to have a big breakfast, and then, because I don't always do a table service in Disneyland Paris, you're only there for a few days, and they're not as great as your Walt Disney World options, in my opinion. So, yeah.
When I was doing research for this episode, because I've never done the dining plan. It's just one of the things I've never done. I think I'm in the same camp as Dean on this one. And I saw it when I was looking over it. My main question was, how much of this am I going to waste? Because it seems like a lot of value, but I think I'm going to not do as much as they think I'm going to do. They're like, oh, here's all these meals, and it would save me money initially, but I think I just wouldn't use them all, and then I would lose a ton of money. Is that correct? Or is that...
I was giving away food.
Oh, really? Wow.
We met friends that were there, and we could lay up. I mean, they don't do some of the restaurants, and they've taken them off. But we would get Blaze, and then we were feeding everybody off of our credits a couple of times, and we still had food after. You've really got to play the hacks. You can go to Starbucks and get a drink if you're clever. If you order a meal, you can get a coffee with it. So you have to use your credits wisely. Don't use that as a snack. Order the meal, get a coffee, and then save them for things like when you go eating around the world at Epcot, or because they count in after hours events as well. So things like Mickey's Not So Scary. So we did all the snacks and stuff at Mickey's Not So Scary and Mickey's Very Merry. We got all of that stuff that we was eating on the dining plan stuff from the quick services.
That's a great tip for people going to those events. I didn't know those were included. I thought it just like an exclusive thing.
Yeah, as long as there's that little dining plan sign that everything has, it's all done.
Yeah.
You just have to play the game and order a margarita every time, is what my wife says.
That's the only thing with me is that I don't drink.
Just off the back of exactly what you said there, I think you were just about to say, weren't you, Gwen?
I don't know. I was going to say that it's interesting what you say there about what you just said about that, because I found that I was upgrading and having things or having more expensive meals than what I'd have if I was actually paying for it. So it's one thing that I definitely commented on when we were there, is that I was kind of upgrading to better steaks and things like that. And I probably wouldn't have had that if we didn't have the dining plan.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was able to stretch myself a little bit and have maybe something a bit better, or bolt things on that I wouldn't normally. Just because it was there, it was available. You've technically paid for it, so you might as well just have whatever. You might as well, upgrade your steak or upgrade whatever meal it is that you're having and stuff, and just get more out of it. I guess. I think it's all just it just depends on what you do with it, and like you've just said as well, it's important to kind of get those know those hacks and those little things that you need to do to get the best out of it. I think you can easily mess it up. But at the same time, if you kind of figure out how to work it, you can.
Yeah, easily. And I think, at one point I was like, 6th filet mignon in 10 days? Yeah, go on then. And I am absolutely fine with that. At the end of the day, it's paid for. You can definitely get your money's worth, or you can, I think, not play the game and make some, at that point then, if you're going for, I don't know, salads and stuff like that, it's probably not worth it. And Disney are definitely making money on that at that point. But the one thing that I will say is, as Nick just said, you've got to learn to play the game. And I was absolutely gutted because we went to Le Hall in Epcot for breakfast, and I wanted to use 2 snack credits for our breakfast and then pay for our coffee separately because they only did filter coffee. I was like, I don't want to use credits on that. I'll pay for
Coffee's
it.
not posh enough.
The guy didn't understand me, put it all through, and I lost 2 snack credits, so I was gutted.
Oh, gutted.
Yeah.
So you just, I think it's just about watching. Like, you just got to play that game up. You just got to know what you're doing, and that's why he does all that.
Yeah.
I don't do any of that ordering. He does all that. He works all that stuff out, and he
Like
knows.
Starbucks, you go and get food, and like you can get beignets. I think they've taken them off now, but you used to be able to get the beignets on there and everything, but they've taken them off now.
You
So
can
you've
get
got to
them
be
at
careful.
Port Orleans, 3
Yeah, I think they've
beignets for a
taken them
snack
off.
credit.
Yeah, you
No,
can.
I
We did
got
that
them.
too.
Oh, they have.
I got them
I
like
know
a few
they've
months
stopped.
ago.
I know they've stopped Blaze and all those. Like I think Deluxe as well are all off there now. I think if you
Are
look
they?
at it.
When we were in September, we managed to get Blaze.
We got blades on.
Yeah, I think they changed it for this year. I'm pretty sure. I saw it.
Oh, wish.
You have to be careful though, because when you book it as included, you have to just do your pricing without just to make sure you're going to get your money's worth.
Yeah. Did anybody do
'Cause-
it when? Sorry, I realised I just cut you off. Did anybody do it when it was dining credit as opposed to
Yeah, it
dining
was
plan?
wicked.
It was
So
so
much
much
better.
better, wasn't it?
We stayed at Animal Kingdom for 2 weeks, and we had I think $2,100,
Yeah,
so we could just go where we wanted.
yeah. It was
So
so
we
much
didn't
better.
bother with. So we just spent it on like the deluxe stuff. Like, we ended up using the credits, but you could because you could go where you wanted rather than this whole ordering 10 pizzas for people because you're restricted to the quick serve. The credit one was mustard
Yeah,
in terms of a booking and an inclusion.
I think so too.
And
Yeah.
and they gave you a gift card as well, I think, for
Yeah, we've got a gift card.
merch as
Yeah.
well. I think we got £200, I think.
Wow.
That was like the COVID
That
coming
was
back
the
after I
COVID
think,
kind of contingency plan, wasn't
23, I
it?
think. Yeah, that was proper. You just had to pay tips in the deluxe sit downs, and you were done.
Yeah, you still got to do. This is something that people don't realise.
Yeah, you
is
got a
still
tip,
got
haven't you?
tips.
Even on the dining plan.
So, yeah, even with the dining plan, you've still make sure that you've got enough to cover that. And it's something that we budgeted as well to make sure that we could, give tips because obviously it's that culture, they do expect. And they do put it on the, you don't need to be working it out. It's always on your receipt at the bottom of the receipt, a suggested
You're
tip.
going to average 18%, aren't you, over every meal, probably,
Yeah.
or 20%.
Yeah, so it might be just kind of like a $20 at the end usually.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that I don't think many people talk about is you still have that on top of it. So it's just something to think about when you are doing the dining plan as well.
Yeah, it's definitely something
And
that we
just
kind of,
dining in America in general.
it's definitely something that we not struggle with, but it's something that we kind of, I suppose, didn't pay enough attention to. And then we did it, and then you get to the end of the first week or something, like you start adding it up, and you go, oh, actually, I'm actually spending quite a lot of money here on tips and stuff. So you still got to have that extra money there available to do it. Because when we went, we're like, oh, it's all covered, we'll be fine. But then the tips really do add up. So you have got to watch that as well.
Yeah, but those sit downs, you'll do $200 on 2 people, even if you just go to Ohana. Do the sit down in the evening, cut the drinks, and you'll be nudging $200 before you even
Easily.
before the end. The other thing though is if you like to eat off site as well, and you have a dining plan, you will not eat off site because you just can't get through it all and do that as well. It's surprising how filling 2 quick services and a snack a day is. It's actually 2 proper meals if you was at home. It's like the Disney all-inclusive, isn't it, on a European holiday? If that's the way I treat it, if you've got your resort cup included as well, you ain't spending any money because you're not going to need much else.
Do you guys say about needing to kind of plan it out and know how to do it before you go in? Is there anywhere you would go, website or anything that you would to kind of find your feet in with it?
DFB
So I-
guys.
Yeah, I was just about to say Disney Food Blog, yeah.
The leading
Literally
authority.
Disney Food Blog, YouTube videos for like 2 weeks beforehand, like hacks on how to get the most out of it. AJ's great. We love a bit of AJ.
I just made my own note tick list. I chucked it in ChatGPT, said spit me out all the restaurants in Disney World, location, and then I just deleted off the ones, put a little checklist on, and left the ones I knew we wanted, and then put like the values and stuff and did it that way. But that was just I prefer to do that because then I looked at what we wanted.
how the plan works in the US, because I've never been, does it limit you on where you can go? Because obviously in Paris, it's all based on where you're staying as to what restaurants are included, but you can pay the difference. Does it work in a similar way in the States?
No, so
You've
get
got a
can only
list of
use what's
ones that
on
are
the credits.
included.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you're staying, but what's included, as in when they do the early booking offer that they usually do, which hasn't come out for the UK yet. When they do that, depending what tier of resort you stay at, will depend what is classed as free dining. So, like value resorts get one quick service meal, moderates get the quick service dining plan, which is 2 quick service meals and a snack credit. And then deluxe resorts get the full dining plan. So no matter where you're staying, you can go wherever with it. It's just what is included in terms of food, I guess.
So the
They have a
table
list
service
of
could
which
literally be
locations are.
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends, so because some of them aren't on it. So when I was looking, obviously your new bars like your Space 220, your Geo 82, I
Yeah, you
think it's
can't
called.
use those.
Your Beacon Barrel, you can't use it there, so it can't be on those. There is some restaurants that aren't included as well, like your Yak and Yeti.
Some
But a
some
lot
of
of
the
your
tables are 2 as well, aren't they?
two, yeah. So I
The
did
proper
Cinderella's
premium
Royal
ones.
Table. That was 2 table service credits. But
Yeah,
I
Le
worked it out to
Cellier
make sure that I was
is
still using all the
Tiffin's is
credits.
2
And I think it was
credits.
only 2 sit downs that I did. Yeah, the steakhouse in Canada, yeah, that's 2. And Storybook Dining at Artist Point.
Yeah, that's 2 as well.
I'll test it in May, but I probably wouldn't do it again. I found it too restrictive. We ended up just chasing food and chasing what, because you feel like you want to get the most out of what you've got. It'll be interesting when we go in May to test versus going back to how we normally do it. Because you do feel a bit like, although it's free, if you do a price comparison and you book it off of the offer, it probably only is a very small amount, and you do feel a bit like you live to eating on what you've got for free, because you don't want to leave that at the end.
If you're more of a regular visitor, then it might not be worth it because you've probably done a lot of the table services and know what you want to do. And if you just want to be doing the rides and having a quick snack here and then, it might not be worth it.
If you're a first time,
but for me, with
proper in a family and that.
Yeah, it was my first time in over a decade, so I just wanted to do all these dream dining experiences and make the most out of that. So for me, it was like a must do to have that and not worry about money whilst I was there. In regards to food, anyway. Not
I think it's the flip side. If you keep going, you probably find you wouldn't use it every time, because unless you're going around and maximising, I think some of the dinners we got were like $70, $75 on just like the quick service meals. By the time you got the drink and stuff like that, you could quickly, they're like $20, aren't they, for a margarita or something on the meals?
Yeah.
There was a couple of restaurants where we were tipping out like 70 odd bucks just for 2 meals. So there it does pay off. That's where you don't want to waste your credit on something cheap, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it is worth. I mean, for us, doing the dining plan is going to make it sound like we eat loads. We generally don't. But food is a massive part of going to Disney for us, the dining experiences and stuff like that. Like, we love it. A lot of, like, we'll get up in the morning and you'll be like, oh, have we got a dining reservation today? And if I say no because we plan to do something else, he's like, oh, like, disappointed. Yeah. So for us, that is like the food, because some of the food at Disney is generally, like, some of it is incredible depending where you eat. I think we eating on the full dining plan with a quick service meal isn't, with a table service meal, isn't that different to how we would do it anyway. So it didn't really feel any different to us. The one thing that I didn't realise, though, which we did make use of at the end, is I knew that your credits carried over, so it's not like if you don't use them that day, they're gone. So you can use snack credits to get a load of stuff from like Main Street Confectionery to take home, which is what we did.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
The thing though with Foodie City, like if you go outside, there's so many great spots. I just felt like for us, where we go quite often, it felt like we missed some of those really good gems that you kind of out of the parks and stuff. So that was where if you're going more, multiple times, you might not, because you won't feel like going there with that. And that's where you lose a little bit of the outside of the parks if you want to do that. If you're going to live in a bubble for 2 weeks and not leave property, then it's a no-brainer to do it. But there's so many good spots, whether it's Springs or, if you go outside and further afield, it doesn't take a lot to know there's some really good places out there that you want to be going to try, and you should try when you're there. So that's the only bit I would say, is if you're going that far, make sure you're checking some stuff outside of the parks as well.
I suppose our judgment was slightly clouded because we did a split stay. So we did 10 days there and then 4 days at Universal where we had nothing. Mm-hmm. So then we had those 4 days to basically go and eat wherever we wanted.
Yeah, all of a sudden, all the free food stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
what, real money?
No, yeah. Oh, no.
Nothing's real when you're out there. You just tap Apple Pay and you check it when you're home.
Yeah, just tap Apple Pay, or even worse, tap your Magic Band. That's not real.
That's how I end up with 6 suitcases full of rubbish.
Yeah, generally.
No joke. And an Epcot ball.
So
it's perception, isn't it? If you're going as a family and it is your first time, 100% it's worth it, even if you're paying for it, because you know what you can budget that way, because you know what you've done, you've prepaid for it, and it's not cheap out there anymore, is it? In terms of what you want to get, it just depends on your situation of how many times you go and what you're doing, I would say. But if you do want, our friends were out there when we was there, and they was going to a sit down every day. But when you're there for I think they were there for like 16, 17 nights. And when you do that every night for 2 and a bit weeks, I think it gets a bit much in the end.
What I'd like to do was do it so it weren't always, the table service was going to be, your evening meal. I switched it up so it would have been like maybe a breakfast, a lunch or a dinner. So every day it was a bit different, and it weren't like a consistent like, oh, we're going to miss this because it's at the night time or whatever, making sure when you're planning it out, you've got a mix of different options. And it also helps because you weren't like eating the same kind of things as well.
The trouble is,
we used a
I
lot
look
of
back and think, oh my God, how do you keep eating so much stuff? That's the problem, isn't it? You sit there in the evening, you got a 9 o'clock reservation and the next one's at 7 or 8 in the morning, and you're like, here we go again.
Mm-hmm. What have we got tomorrow? Oh, we've got breakfast at Topolino's. I'm really excited, but I don't know how I'm going to eat that much.
We binned off Topolino's on 1 in the morning. We got to I think it was like midnight by the time we got back from the park, and we just looked at each other and went, I can't eat at 7 o'clock in the morning. We just sacked it off. We was just couldn't face it.
Do you think
it can be a lot of food?
It's more than a lot.
Even a full board meal plan at Disneyland Paris, like even that's a lot of food. I feel like I'm eating constantly. I've not got a meal plan since pre-COVID now. But a full board meal plan, especially if you're staying somewhere like Art of Marvel or Newport Bay, and you can have table service or a really decent buffet for lunch and dinner, you do feel like you're eating constantly. And it really sounds like that it's probably the same in the States as well.
And then you've got all the Walmart and Target snacks on top of that.
And roller coasters on a full stomach. No thanks.
Do you think you would
none of the Disney coasters are that rough?
Then I'm a wuss.
It's not like jumping on Velocicoaster after you've just eaten a sit-down meal.
Dean, what was your question?
Disney, I was just going to say, if you did Disney without the dining plan, would you really eat that much, or are you just eating just to use?
No, I think you would, because then you just eat outside. You then go to different places, so I think you'd still eat the same volume.
Yeah,
but I think like you've got the food trucks and stuff on the 192, and there's so many different bits and places you can go. You got the world, I think I probably got about 10 or 12 different spots that, we're going to try and tick off a couple in May and then a few more later in the year that maybe some people wouldn't know at the moment or try. There's some really good little bits and pieces that are like properly that I know some people that have been to that you wouldn't try if you did have the dining plan though.
But wait, personally, if I'm doing the parks, I maybe do like 2 sit-down meals over like a week or 2 weeks. We're there. Maybe have something quick.
That's what we do.
Back and maybe a snack here and there, but I personally don't really tend to eat that much. Alcohol is different. If you do it alcohol, then yeah, you're drinking your way around the world. But I don't know if it would
That's where you get your value, though.
Well, the drinks, or
you've got to do it in meals so you get them. But that's where you get your money's worth. Because if you just get, but then the flip side, what you're spending $5 on a bottle of water there, you suddenly realise how much you add up when you look at it and go. We look back when I was going back for all the footage of ours last time, and I was like, actually, we saved a lot of money from doing it.
Yeah.
Especially when like you go into like Epcot at Food and Wine on one of the festivals, and you're using a snack credit, and it's $11.79 plus tax for like steak or something like that. They've got some bits on those menus. If you're getting spending maybe $6-7, you're not getting you maybe not get as much value for money on more of the expensive stuff. That's included as well.
This might have been answered already. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep up with all you smart people about the dining plan. But does Downtown Disney, or whatever the park's equivalent is, Disney Springs, whatever, does that count in the Disney plan, in the dining plan?
Yeah.
I mean, probably select
Most
places like
locations
usual,
are.
but
Yeah,
okay.
select places.
'Cause that's a game changer
but they
for
aren't
me.
included.
Say, when I was looking over the rules for this plan, at least in the U.S. parks, I don't know if it's different, but they expire midnight of your checkout day, right? So you have like Rob and Matt were saying, and Nick, you just load up on snacks your last day, stop by the confectionery, get all your treats, and peace out, right?
I screwed up because I was like, I've got money to spend it. I had cash on me. Went into Early Sandwich and realised I should have used my credits and saved the cash for later and done something else because they actually are still there.
Yeah. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, well, on like a non-park day, or a day when I'm leaving the park early, or my checkout day is that day, so I didn't get a park ticket, that's a game changer. Because now I'm like, okay, I get like 2 or 3 meals that day before I fly, and they're going to be free or whatever, or travel or what I'm doing. I think that's a really big perk.
The American travel are doing 4 or 5 days and leaving. It's probably really good. I think maybe the UK people going over for 2 weeks, it might just stretch what you want to do with it after a little while.
Yeah, the longer trips do.
I love a tender, but there's only so many tenders and pizza you can eat before you're like.
Right, I can only get so many burgers in before I'm like, something else.
I will eat buffalo tenders in Magic Kingdom until they go out of fashion. But even I'm like, no, I need a break now.
Olivia, you were saying something before I asked this question. Did you want to go back to that?
If I'm going to be honest, it's gone straight out of my head. It'll come back to me.
That's all right. I knew it would have been out of my head too. I just wanted to make sure.
I'm thinking about all the snack
else.
options. I'm getting hungry. This isn't a great episode. I'm just sat here getting hungry at all the different things, thinking about all the amazing meals I had.
I don't know about anybody else, but what would you guys think about? So obviously for us from the UK, if you do the early booking offer, there's a level of dining included for free. We normally upgrade to the full dining plan just because that suits us a little bit better. But if that offer wasn't there, or it was a different offer, would you guys add it on and pay full price for it?
I mean, I've done both in Paris. So this offer hasn't existed since before COVID, but they used to do the free half board at certain times of year.
Yeah, they did.
And then you could bump that up to full board. And sometimes they even threw in a gift card, very rarely as well. But as I said, that offer hasn't existed since before the pandemic now. But yeah, I've had half board and then bumped it up to full board because at the time it seemed like such a minuscule amount of money. It would literally only be sort of like £100-200 to go from breakfast and 1 main meal to 2 main meals, and it seemed like a no-brainer across the week. I mean, who doesn't love a bargain? But the price of meal plans now, I was looking at the prices earlier for Paris, and I wouldn't do it.
Paris is really expensive for
Paris,
the meal plan.
yeah.
That's why I'm
Horrendously
not doing it.
expensive.
It's obscene. If you want to stay in basically anywhere between Cheyenne and New York, full board per day is £101 per adult.
We don't spend that. I don't know
No,
about
I
you
don't
guys,
either.
especially in Paris. We don't spend anywhere near that.
Yeah.
It's obscene.
Man, that's wild. I think this is the slippery slope with dining plan, because Disney, we've talked about this before on some of our other, sorry, there's a bee like right next to my foot. It's stressing me out. Anyway, I'm worried because there's this really, Disney's becoming more of a planning place. You kind of have to plan if you want the most out of it. And so if you're just a lax person and you go and you're just down for the ride, then great, you're going to have a good time. But a lot of people get the most out of Disney when they plan and they do reservations and Max Pass and all these different things. And I feel like the dining plan really caters, caters towards them, right? It kind of benefits the planner and not the lax vacation goer. Because while it does make things convenient, I would lose money on it 100%. Like, this would be something I'd be like, oh yeah, totally easy. Like, do all the upgrades, and then I'd lose like $800, or something like that. And I'd be like, I didn't use half my
You
credits.
need to make sure to book as well.
That's a good point. Get your reservations
Your
in.
60
Yeah.
day special.
When it's 6 days, get your reservations in, because if you don't do that, then you're not going to get on those ones that you really want to do. And if you've got the dining plan, you need to get those reservations in. So I was very much stressed out on that 60 days mark, making sure, got my list ready. And what you need to do is the most popular ones, have them all in tabs open ready. And your most popular ones, say I know this is not included in the dining plan, but Space 220 is really, popular. So book that first and then work your way back. Get that in because you can only do it, is it a week?
10 days, and then you can do, if you're doing 14, days. You can do the final 4 a couple of days after.
I was trying to remember
so
how
you can
many
normally
days
get
I
what
had
you
to do
want.
it afterwards. Yeah, but definitely if you are doing the dining plan, make sure to book those table services
I'm just
to
going
make
to
sure you
look
get the
just
ones
to
you
see.
want.
I'm just looking now because I forgot to do it, to see how much it was extra for the dining plan versus what the hotel is, because I've done it all separate. I'll just quickly check, and so I give people an idea of what the difference in cost is if it's not on a plan. So just rattle away, and I'm not being rude. I'm just going to quickly check.
No, you're good. While Nick's on that, Zoe, did you have something?
No, I was just fully approving the research. It's like me earlier.
Oh yeah, do it. I noticed you taking notes over there. You're diligent. I like it. But I just had a question. It's not dining plan super related, but like, not to try to take AJ's job or anything, but what are your Disney food tips for people? Like, how do you get food at Disney? Like, one of my favorite ones is like, if I can't afford, say, dinner at the Blue Bayou, right? This is what my family did when I was young. We just got dessert, which saves you a little bit, not getting a full course. And then we would just go get something else after, like clam chowder or something. And so you still get the experience, and I know I'm saying that to people like me who pay thousands of dollars to go to somewhere, and then they're like, well, $80 for a plate, that's just, but like, people do go on budgets. And so like, what are your other tips? How do you Disney dine?
You could just go and get a dessert, and I'm going to do that now. Like, there's some that I would really like to do, and I'm just going to go and get a dessert now. That sounds great.
Yeah,
I do love that, because I don't think you could get away with that in Paris, because nearly everywhere is like either buffet or set menu, and they don't like to detract from that. I'd love to go into somewhere and be like, yes, I will just have the brownie.
You should try it.
Yeah.
Please try it on your next trip.
I might have to.
Tell us how it goes. I'm trying to think where you could do that. Maybe like Captain Jack's, because it has the a la carte menu.
Right.
Oh, but their dessert for me sucks.
Oh yeah, it's all fruit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fruit, chia pudding, cabbage, and chili.
If you
that's
give
all
an example,
that vegans eat at Paris, apparently.
Sounds really bad. A week for 2 people is £700 for the quick serve dining, and then it's 1,124 for the Disney dining plan. So if you're going for a week, or whatever, and you was going to do 4 or 5 of the restaurants, pays for itself of the sit downs.
Exactly. That's probably why for us it's worth it.
Yeah.
If you're going to do them, obviously. If you're not going to do them, or you only want to do like 2 or 3, like we would or Dean would, then obviously that's where it weighs off again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just to go back to what you were saying about like tips, I think there is one of the things that we learned quite quickly from speaking to numerous different people within the Disney community, friends that we've got that go every once in a while or fairly regularly, is everybody has a different idea of how to do food at Disney. Everybody has different expectations. Everybody has a different palate. You know, tenders got mentioned earlier. There are some days where we'll have done like, I don't know, we'll be on day 8 or 9 and be doing 20,000 plus steps a day.
Yeah.
Like when we go hard at it. We are rope fireworks people. Maybe with an hour's break in between. Maybe if the bus turns up back to the resort. If not, then we'll just bail and carry on. But at that
Keep
point,
eating until you can't eat anymore.
Yeah, there are some days where we're literally like, I don't want to make a decision. I just want chicken tenders, and we'll just go and sit in Cosmic Rays in the AC and just like, they're not even like Cosmic Rays food isn't even good, but that's all I want.
Yeah, but you've got Sunny Eclipse, and that makes it. Just Sunny Eclipse.
And Views of the Castle. Views of the Castle are good.
Views of Sunny Eclipse, and that's sold.
You know, but for 2 weeks, if you're going to spend $2.5 worth of money, you know, very much dollars as well, isn't it? What's the conversion? 1 to 3. So it's like for 2 weeks in November, it's £2,600 for that full dining plan.
Is that for 2 people or just 1?
2.
For 2.
Yeah. So if you do the conversion, what's that? It's about $3,500. If I'm right, something like that. That's what I'm saying. That's where you have to start just looking and go. You have to really make sure before you go.
What I did, where I went through all the menus and like had an idea of how much I'd be spending. That's the only way I could properly figure out an idea if I was saving.
So it's like, can you see it?
Yeah.
£2,586. That's because
it's a big chunk of money when you put it like that, but you've got to just figure out how you're going to be spending that much.
It is more depending on when you go.
Yes, it is.
So I looked at May, and it's about 15% cheaper than that time there in November will be right at the start of the holidays. So when that's like the day of when the holidays start. It does depend on when you go, will depend on what you're paying. Just in the same way the Disney ticket is cheaper or more expensive.
Yeah, that's why I went in January, because it boosted so much just a few weeks into February. It was mad how the price difference changed.
You just need to take your thermals.
Yeah. Honestly, the weather was insane.
We had one cold day, and it was bitter, but not like I saw people out there in Jan. That was just like when they had like icicles on the.
That was insane.
Yeah, they were covering
Florida's
all of
meant
the
to
flowers.
be moaning it's hot, and moaning I can't be doing this anymore. I'm too sweaty. I'm too hot. Not oh my god, it's freezing. Florida cold is a cold that no one ever knows.
I was boiling the week before, wearing shorts.
We need to do a whole episode on Florida cold.
Yeah, it was nothing that I felt before, honestly. I had to buy a blanket. I mean, I really wanted that blanket,
we did
so
that
it was a good excuse.
When we were watching Fantasmic, Sarah came back and was like, I bought a blanket, don't be mad.
I'm currently just trying to see how much we paid extra, if the invoice will load, how much we paid extra, because we got the free dining plan, and we're staying at a moderate resort. So how much was the upgrade to the full dining plan? But currently,
yeah, I think mine was just over 800 for an upgrade.
Yeah, I think ours was about the same for the two of us. So it's like £400 each. Which,
it was.
When you put it into perspective, I don't.
That's why when we went last year, I priced it up, and it made more sense to stay at French Quarter than it did at movies.
Yeah,
when the dining plan was included,
it was the same.
If the dining plan hadn't been included, obviously. Then you go, well, actually, is it worth the extra to stay at the moderate? It all factors into your decisions, doesn't it?
Yeah, so we did exactly the same thing. We stayed at French Quarter on our last trip when we were planning to do it a little bit cheaper, stay at Park. Um, and then when we priced it up, it was actually the same money or slightly cheaper to stay at French Quarter than it was to do Pop with a full dining plan.
Wow.
Yeah, because Pop's actually really expensive. So we always have a car. So it makes no sense to us to pay that bit extra just to have a Skyliner. Because we still use the car and then just bust to Magic Kingdom now. That's the way we do it.
Yeah, see, to date we've never done the car thing, so for us it makes more sense to pay that. But I am every time we speak to them, they're like, you need a car.
Do it and get the biggest truck you can get. Way too much fun.
I think something too that this was new for me. So when I married my wife, she has a bunch of food allergies, and that kind of changed the way I did the parks, and I was kind of nervous. At Disneyland, it was a little harder just because there's more limited options. But when we were at Disney World, I was spoiled for choice. Like everywhere we went was like, I would just mention, hey, is there an allergy menu? They'd be like, yep, and let's get you a chef, and let's get you we'll fix you up, whatever you want. They're very, it was very pleasant. And I think that's something that I would have to take into account when doing the dining plan, but not as much as I think people would think, right? Because so many of the areas are covered and so many of the restaurants do special accommodations. That being said, I really struggled in, Epcot was a challenge to find a gluten-friendly option and a sugar option, because it's gluten and sugar and a couple other things. And so I was like, okay, this is going to be harder than I thought, because everywhere here is going to have one or the other. Yeah. So, right. You get it.
I just give up for 2 weeks.
Yeah, right. Sometimes you go one place, and Magic Kingdom is like every place, easy peasy. But Epcot was a struggle for us. We had to go 3 pavilions before we found somewhere, So that would factor in for me just a little bit, but it would.
Yeah, a few people have said that to us actually, because they've asked us when we've been out there and stuff, and sent messages on Instagram about allergy-friendly options at the. Why is the word just totally gone out of my head? The festivals. Because a lot of people struggle with that, gluten-free options at Food and Wine and stuff like that. It seems to be, especially the festivals, where Epcot as a park as a whole seems to be probably the most difficult one that people say. But then festivals on top of that seems to be where things kind of slip slightly in terms of
I've seen that a lot recently.
The options available.
Yeah, I've seen where
that was our problem.
They've said, is it gluten-free or whatever? And they've said, yes, they've got it, and it's not been gluten-free. I've seen a lot recently where it's been, not great communication with that. So I don't think with the booths especially, that's a good option for any allergies. I have seen that quite a lot recently.
Yeah.
I find you also get a lot of cast members that are more willing to be knowledgeable than others as well, particularly in Paris. Some will be really accommodating. They'll do the same. They'll bring you out a folder. They'll bring out the chef, and they'll talk you through everything. But then in other places, they'll be like, "No, we can't change a thing."
Yeah, that's
Disney
true.
World's a bit different. I've never met anyone out there that doesn't want to help, or the cast members there seem to be a bit more on the ball in terms of stuff like that. I've always found.
Yeah, and I don't have a dietary requirement, but I don't eat meat. So I was going to, it was Storybook Dining, what I can think about, but they did it in other ones as well. And it was shared appetizers and shared desserts. And some of those, we said at the beginning for the starters, we don't eat meat, so can we have, not have that one? And they brought out, a vegetarian option for us. And then they brought out all the desserts, and they said, actually, we found out that these all have gelatin in. So we brought out 3 different desserts for you. And they remembered that throughout the service, to bring out stuff that we could all eat. And it was just that little extra that you weren't having to kind of go, I don't think I can eat this, or what's in this? And it was that extra, thing that you're being given stuff and you're being thought about throughout the meal, which was really nice.
It's amazing.
And they were delicious as well.
Like an extra stress.
Sometimes you get the other options and you're like, is it going to be as good? But actually they were really good as well.
I remember we had the trio desserts in Space 220, and that was the carrot cake was vegan. But they made a big point of it. It was decent as well.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
of the stuff I had that was vegetarian and vegan was really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean,
See, that's
you'd
what
know
I
I'd be coming to
experienced
you
too.
for advice, Olivia.
I had this experience as well because I was like, oh, I hope my wife can get good food because usually she can't, and her food was better than mine most of the time. Like we went to that crepes place in the France Pavilion, and
Yeah.
and she
Banging.
got like a salmon, like cream cheese,
Mhm.
like amazing, gluten free, dairy free, all this stuff crepe. Amazing. It was so good. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go all out. I'm getting like the chocolate, ice cream crepe, and mine sucked, dude. Like hers was so good. And I was like, I thought I did it right, but I'm doing what you do now. So I was very happy though. That's one thing that I would recommend to anyone, especially at Disney World. Like always
Don't get me
mention if
started
you
on
have
snacks.
Oh, look at
I love
that.
the snacks.
He's ready. Look at that man over there.
I am
the same
I had
thing.
people message me from the vlogs who were like, wow, you went through some food. Yes, I did.
So, I just have one more question for everybody. If you could change something about the dining plan, what would you
credits.
change? Back to credits, huh? That was a fast response, Nick. Tell us about that.
Well, it's freedom, isn't it? It gives you're spending the money anyway. The restriction on meal rather than value is only you then start having to play the system, whereas you've still got the value. They obviously know what they do per head, and having done both, the credit system works so much better in terms of value for money and freedom for the people, is what I would say.
I would totally agree. I think if we had to stick to the system that we have in place now, I was definitely mine. I don't know about you, but one of my biggest frustrations was like there'd be certain days where I'd be like, oh, do you know what? I want a starter, and then I'll just do a starter and a main, and they'd be like, no, it has to be a main and a dessert.
Yes, then because you want the starter, you end up paying for the starter.
Yeah, we did. Where did we go? We did Sonar, and obviously got the bread service. And yeah, we were like, oh, okay, we've got to pay for this on top. And then the dessert came, and I was like, I don't actually want it.
Yeah.
Feel sorry for me. I had loads of extra Starbucks in the mornings because of the dining plan.
I can't think of something that I would want to necessarily change because it worked so well for us on our recent trip. I think the only thing is how much planning has to go into it to make the most out of it. And obviously with all the bookings, it can get a bit stressful when you are planning a trip, and it's quite overwhelming, especially for someone it's the first time. You have to do a lot of research to make sure you get the most out of the trip and get your money's worth. So I think that's the only thing with it is there's so much you have to do to get the most out of it, and the planning and all that stuff. So that's the only thing I can kind of think had to change, but I don't know how you would change that.
Do you think 60 days before is enough time for people to get what they want, or do you think there should be a wider
You can still
time frame?
change after, and you can still get reservations pretty much, most of them on the day. There's only a couple that you'll struggle on.
Mm.
Yeah, I was able to change some times for the reservations just to make. I looked beforehand. I cancelled it to make sure that they was available.
There's only a few that are a no-go. The Beacon Barrel in the first couple of weeks, like even when we was there, it was still like every time you lost if you lost it, you weren't going to get back in on that day. But that's stopped now. There's only a few that you'd struggle on in terms of planning.
Yeah, but again, that's not everyone knows which are the most popular and stuff. So it's that again, make sure you've got all your research in.
There's only so much you can do. You need to go out there and experience it and live it for yourself, and not turn it into a holiday driven by other people's faults. We've all been there, whether it's once or 10 times, and you find it each time by going and you learn a bit more yourself, and that's the fun of it.
Exactly. We always say every trip that you go on is different, and every trip, if you go multiple times, whether that's to Paris, to Walt Disney World, whether that's to Disneyland in California, wherever you go, the kind of each trip will be different and potentially either have a different focus, or you'll be doing something different, you'll be into something different, and there's new experiences. Like every trip that we've had so far to Walt Disney World, we haven't been that many times, but we have been for the past 4 years now?
4 years.
And 4 years consecutively. We've been lucky enough to be able to do that, which has been great. But each time we've been, it's been a totally different experience for us because we've made it that. So, you know, there's that much to do. You can do different. You can change it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for me, me and my wife talked about this once because we were like, oh, like we want to go to Disney more, but it's just so expensive, so we have to go less, blah blah blah. And we were like, well, what if we started bringing like sandwiches and stuff for lunch? And I respect that. That is a solid game, and if you play that game, like nothing but respect. But I just can't. Food's half the fun for me. Yeah, like
my
I
idea
just
of making
love
it cheaper is get an annual pass to get discount.
Yeah, see,
which does help, right? But for me,
I
I'm like, the
daydream
food's
about
part
my
of it.
favourite restaurants.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, this is a must. It's just as important as an attraction for me to get that treat or that snack. I'm like, if
Also,
I don't
I
have
can
them in
still
Julep
taste
on this
the
trip,
spring
it's a
roll.
failure. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Everyone's got their thing. So
I
for
think-
me, it's a game for sure.
Yeah, we completely agree. And, you know, you do see more so. I don't know if there's like signs up in certain areas at Disneyland Paris that say like no picnics. Whereas in Walt Disney World, it just seems to be like people just kind of get on and do what they want.
I've took my food into Paris before and it's not been an issue. I mean, I always have snacks in my bag and I'm eating them in the queue.
No, their issue
I think it's
is
more like
picnic
if everybody
boxes.
was to sit down in a big like
Yeah.
group, maybe they'd want to break that up. But
if they made the options better for people with, you know, dietary requirements and stuff, you wouldn't have people doing picnics because most of the people who are having the picnics is because they can't eat anything in the parks because they're not catering for them.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got someone who's allergic to a lot of things to the point where you actually have to like inform each restaurant ahead, what you get served is basically like a microwave dinner.
Yeah.
And I hear that they're absolutely awful. I mean, like I said, they are slowly improving, but yeah, I mean, if you've got allergies to most of those main groups like nuts, dairy, soy, like all the main things, yeah, you're getting plain food.
Yeah.
And it's not good.
No.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about Disneyland California is in the Esplanade in the middle part between DCA and Disneyland, they actually have a little hidden picnic area, and it's been there since forever.
Cute.
And yeah, it's just if you're walking to Disneyland, just take a hard left before you get in, and there's just like this really cute garden, like these tall hedges, and the monorail goes like right above it, and they have the loop playing and everything. It's really lovely, and they've got these big lockers back there, so you can put your cooler in, go to the park with your family, come out, do that. I think that's brilliant. I honestly do. If you had a big family,
for anyone going to Disneyland.
You get one of those lockers, you keep your
minute.
jackets and your food in there, and then you come out, you get your jackets on, it's cold, you get your dinner, and you go. Like, so easy.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. So, well, perfect. As always, we find this a lot on this podcast, where we find that everyone does Disney differently. Oh, whoa, big spider just blew in on my camera. Cool. Anyway, we find that everybody, yeah, he's all right. He's chilling. Everybody does Disney differently, and everyone likes it kind of and does it differently. But we always discover that there's always so many ways to do it. Whether you're a dining plan person or you're just a kind of, oh, this is open, let's just go here kind of guy. Like, it just doesn't matter. And honestly, I always reiterate this, but just do your Disney. Like, kind of do the thing you're going to do. And we never throw shade on anybody in this podcast, and I like that. But more than that, like, we're really learning to respect everyone for the way they do it. And I think that's really cool. Like, all of us, if we went on a trip all together, I'm sure it'd be a really interesting time to get food together or go on rides together. Because some of you probably think, oh, the way Jackson does Disney is unthinkable, and vice versa. But in reality, like, we're all going to the same place. We're all having a great time. And I think that's the best part. And honestly, that's just the beauty of going to a Disney park. So I really appreciate that we can have conversations like this. It's really cool. Does anyone have anything else? I feel like we've kind of covered this topic pretty well. I think we actually did really good.
Go to Disney and eat a load of
Do your
food.
Disney sounds like a great motto. DYD.
Yeah.
Do your Disney.
Do your Disney. A Diz debate tip. Do your Disney.
Yeah, the only thing I can think I haven't really touched on is how with a lot of the table services you can do character dining, and that was another way that I got my money's worth with the dining plan. And it's a way to get your characters in and not have, you know, your long waits. because I just can't with all the long waits for characters. So I was able to meet a lot of the characters that I wanted to meet that way as well. And the food was amazing. So that's another one for making the most out of your dining plan for table services is, use it for character dining experiences if that's what you enjoy.
That's a great tip.
Just get your coffees, get your alcoholic drinks in with your meals. You'd be surprised how quickly you'll beat Disney and their plan on what you were going to spend.
Yeah.
You need to publish your list.
That's it. I'll release it.
Your cheats guide.
Yeah, do a Patreon. Like, premium subscribers get my snacks list, like $20 a month.
You'd make quite a lot doing that,
That's what Paging Mr. Morrow was, didn't he? Eat all of this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what he does.
He shows all the good snacks.
That's what I'm saying. He's
Makes me
the
very
snack
hungry.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Does anyone else have anything before we sign off?
I don't think so. I think
Very hungry.
ours is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've definitely got our money's worth from character dining as well, haven't we? Although there was one this year, and now I wanted to touch on it, but now it's completely gone out of my head, where we walked out of it and gone, would you have done that if it wasn't on the dining plan? And we both went, would you do that again, sorry, if it wasn't on the dining plan? And we both went, no.
No.
Oh, which one was it?
I think it was it Hollywood and Vine? Was it the Halloween dine that we did?
Oh, it might have been. Because we did it last
Did you do it as a
year.
Phantasmic package?
We did, and that was great. We got a free upgrade from Disney for that.
I'd do that again.
Yeah.
Because they messed something up.
Which you can do on the dining plan. That's another thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Say, yeah.
But
we did that sci-fi dining. That was a really good meal.
yeah, Sci-Fi Diner was fun when we did that.
Oh, and don't forget, use your snacks in your events in the end of the year. That's a big one.
No.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I think this is a really great episode. And honestly, I think we could talk for another hour about the Disney dining plan and honestly about the food. I mean, don't even get any of us started on our treats or our snacks that we love. I mean, I think Nick could take at least a couple weeks for those. But we're so grateful that everyone was here and that everyone contributed. And we're just happy to be here, and we're happy to run this little thing for everyone. And so thanks so much, everyone, for your contributions. Rob and Matt and Zoe, Nick, Olivia, Dean, it was so great to see you all and so great to have some new people. We really hope to see you again sometime. Next week on Disdebate, we're going to talk about Villains Land, and we're going to kind of throw some of our predictions in and then what we'd like to see. And if for those of you thinking, oh, it's been announced for a long time, why are you bringing that up? Well, our friend Demaro has recently kind of changed up those plans, and so we're kind of going to change up our predictions as well. So we're excited to talk about that, excited to really tear it up next week. But until then, thank you so much for tuning into Disdebate, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.
Bye, guys.
Bye.